Hello and welcome to GrindslimeTV with me, your host Aaron. And today we are heading over to Belgium for some chainsaw grind. Oh yes, we are talking about Barren and their demo compilation, Cursed to Walk This Earth. Banging stuff, really cool. It is basically what it says on the tin. They call themselves Chainsaw Grind, and you can probably imagine why. Because it is straight up HM2 worship, which I know some of you kids are crazy about. And I love a HM2 as much as the next guy, of course. What's we got here? Look, bit of an advert, really. It's available on Bandcamp, which is where you can find their music. It's not on Spotify. I couldn't find any on YouTube. I saw a bunch of other bands called Barren and Barren Wasteland and stuff like that, but Bandcamp's the way to go. So this is a compilation of their 3 demos or EPs, so to speak, that came out in 2021. So you get just over 19 minutes worth of music here. And it's really cool. Very sort of speed's the name of the game, really. You've got the 5 lads there, and yeah, you know, they've got that sort of death grind sound, but with a bit of crust thrown in there as well, so nice and crusty for those of you who like it. But it is, you know, more often leaning more into the death grind sort of territory. Now, if there was one drawback I would take from this band, and I guess it's not cunting them off or anything, because this is a great CD, and their split with Secrecy is really good too. And I forget who it was. I think it was either Ragnar Ross or Nate's Death Metal Dungeon down in the comments who told me about this band. And when I checked them out, I was like, yeah, this is cool. I've got to get me some of this. And when I saw they'd done a split with Secrecy, whom you guys know I enjoy. I've done a video on them before. Their Salvation Through Tyranny album is a fantastic grindcore record, and I think it's one of the best grindcore records to come out in the past 20 years. But it's the gimmicky stuff, I suppose. It's like, you know, they call themselves Chainsaw Grind because, you know, it's a chainsaw guitar, and they've got the picture of the HM2 behind it with the dials all turned up, and it's like, okay, yeah, cool, brilliant. So stuff like that I just find a little bit all right, but it's what it is, you know. Pretty cool stuff. Looking on like Metal Archives, like the band pictures and stuff, they all seem to wear t-shirts by bands that I'm not particularly fond of. You know, the Red Chord, I Wrestled a Bear Once, the Ghost Inside, you know, Cattle Decapitation. You know, and I like that early Cattle stuff. That stuff's sick. I'd love to get Homivore and Human Jerky on 7-inch. Those are fantastic records. But for the most part, you know, it's just, you know, this guy's got like a Aborted shirt on and whatnot. So I think they're into that kind of stuff, and they've made some grindcore, which is pretty cool. And some of that influence comes through every now and then. There's a couple of bits on here that I can kind of live without. Like on the song Rain, there's like a really melodic bit towards the end, and it's cool, but it's just, you know, one of those things where I'm just, you know. And there was another song here as well. I can't remember which one it was, but it has a very sort of dun 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 sort of thing going on, you know, that sort of deathcore sort of thing going on, which isn't for me, obviously. But the rest of it I think is fantastic. Really cool mix, really aggressive stuff. The vocals are fantastic. All of them are really good, to be honest with you. Each of the members, they all bring their A game to it. Yeah, 13 tracks on here, so 13 tracks in 19 minutes. That's doing it right, I think, in my opinion. Absolutely. But yeah, if you want to check these guys out, like I say, Bandcamp is the place to go. And I really recommend picking this CD up. It's really good fun. You know, and it's just shy of 20 minutes of really cool sort of blasting and riffage and, you know, D beats. And if you're into that kind of aggressive, fast nastiness, then yeah, man, get on it, because this definitely tickled the boxes. And if you love the HM2 as much as these guys do, then you're going to get everything that you're after. Really nice chunky riffs going on. There doesn't seem to be any filler riffs. It seems like they put thought into each riff that's been put down. Vocal placement is all really cool. Pretty cool range as well. You can do the sort of low, mid, and high. I don't think that singer Jimmy is in the band anymore, from what I understand. But yeah, I've got, like I said, I've got this and I've got their split with Secrecy, and both of them are wicked. Whether or not I'll get anything else by them, because I feel like I've pretty much got the good stuff already. You know, I've essentially got 4 releases, you know, thrown into 2. But no, really cool stuff, and particularly where I've got like sort of a very minimal room now to get CDs. Like I've only got like space for a handful more, so I'm being a bit more picky about what I get. But I'm really glad I picked this up, because this is, like I say, it's really, really good fun. It ticks those boxes for me, because as you guys know, I love death metal, I love grindcore, and I love crust punk. So this sort of ticks all those boxes. I'd say it's more, I'd say 50% grindcore, 40%, or maybe 35, no, about 40% death metal, and then 10% crust, just to give it that extra little bit of naughtiness in there. But no, really recommend picking this up. It's a great record from Belgium, and hopefully these guys will go on to do a load of really cool things. This came out from, you know, Japan. I think it was released by I can't read what that says. Oh, Forever Esgoya? Esagoya? Yeah, I have no idea what that says. Yeah, I don't know, but is what it is. And it came with this little Ubi strip as well, the little thing. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, is it an Ubi strip if it's U-shaped for a CD, and an OB strip if it's O-shaped for an LP or a cassette or something? I honestly don't know. I'm usually wrong about these things, but yeah, definitely recommended. So a big thank you to Nate and or Ross for getting me onto these guys. Barren, Cursed to Walk This Earth. Fantastic stuff. Make it happen. That's it from me today. Hope you guys have a good time. Support the underground in your local record store, and I'll catch you all later.